Alright, I believe we are live here. Let me check and see if everything's working. I think so. Let me refresh my screen here. I think we are live. Check out my camera and stuff. Can everybody see me? Looks like that's working as well. All right, I think we are set up to go. Yep, here we are. All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. KT here, back at it with another video today. We're doing the Bears. Same mantra as every other day, every other Wednesday. We got the Green Bay Packers coming into town for a big rivalry matchup at Soldier Field for our Week 11 matchup. This game is coming off of a lot of turmoil in Hollis Hall. A lot of stuff has happened this week. I'll get into all that in this video. As per usual, I'm going to give my preview and prediction for this game. Give a couple keys on what I think the Bears should do to be able to win this game. So we'll get straight into it. But before we get into it real quick, I'd just like to let you guys know that I am still currently doing a $100 Amazon gift card giveaway on the channel. If you go to this video right here, it's on my channel. It's the newest one uploaded. Go to this video right here. All the rules will be in this comment right here. So make sure you guys follow that, and follow them to the T. Make sure you guys subscribe, get your comment down there, and you will be eligible for the giveaway. As you can see, I will announce it on the 2nd of December. So make sure you guys are ready for that. So yeah, now that you guys know that, go ahead and get your comment down in there. Mark you guys as eligible, and good luck to you all. So, like I said, Green Bay Packers coming into town. Not a historically great matchup for the Chicago Bears. Last year, the Green Bay Packers trounced us twice in this season. And they're coming off their bye week. They're pretty much well prepared. A lot of stuff has happened at Hollis Hall since the Bears played on Sunday. If you guys don't know, or if you've been living under a rock for the past 2 days, you would know that the Bears have fired Shane Waldron only after 9 games into the season. Shane Waldron is out, and Thomas Brown is in, so he is the new offensive coordinator. I have to admit that I was wrong about Shane Waldron. I thought he would have been a little bit better than he was here. I thought he would have played to his quarterback strength a little bit more. But throughout this season, it's been constant turmoil with this team, specifically with the coaching staff and the offensive play calling, situational play calling, red zone play calling. And ever since we came back from the bye against Washington, the points have been going down. We scored 12 against Washington. We scored 9 against Arizona, and we scored 3 against the Patriots last week. So this was a move that was needed. I don't know if this is going to change anything or if this is going to change at all. But I will say that it's kind of refreshing to have a fresh face at Hollis Hall. Thomas Brown will be calling plays from the booth, so maybe that will help. Maybe it won't. But yeah, I hate to have such a big change come up in such a big game of the season, because this is a rivalry game. And this is against the Green Bay Packers, who have continuously owned us throughout this decade and in recent memory. So when you have a huge change like that in the middle of the season, it doesn't always go all that great. But, our numbers pretty even per se, at least for defense. Defensive rating, this is probably the best defensive team that the Bears have faced all season. The Packers defense is currently 9th in the league. We have currently the 11th best defense in the league. We have the second to worst offense in the league at 31. They have the 6th best offense in the league. We have one of the worst passing attacks in the league at 31. Packers, as always, have one of the best passing attacks in the league, right outside the top 10 at 11. And the Packers rush the ball pretty effectively as well, 5th in the league, with us being 25th. So offense, not our strong suit. Defense is still our strong suit for this team. And, Jordan Love, unforeseen to become a franchise quarterback like the way he has currently on the year, completing 61% of his passes, about 1,820 yards on the year, 15 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. I think he does lead the league in interceptions, so that's something to take advantage of. Josh Jacobs recently got here, 762 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. You know, Josh, is it Josh Reed or is it Jayon Reed? I can't tell you anybody who plays on the Packers. He's pretty good. All the Packers receivers, the Packers offense in general is just really, really good. As for the Bears, Caleb Williams completing 60% of his passes, 1,700 yards, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. DeAndre Swift, 564 yards on the season, 4 touchdowns. Rome Odunze is the leading receiver this year with 414 yards, but only 1 touchdown and much less receptions. So in this game, the Bears are going to have to get started really, really early. So that would bring me into my first key is that, man, we got to start running plays that Caleb Williams is comfortable with. And, you know, these past few games, it feels like Caleb Williams has been more uncomfortable than ever. Granted, the offensive line hasn't been good. He's been getting sacked a lot. He's been constantly under pressure for most of that time. And, we're getting some guys back. We are getting some guys back. Probably going to get Darnell Wright back. Probably going to get Braxton Jones back. We're going to lose Tevin Jenkins, but Tevin Jenkins wasn't really playing that well anyway. But it just feels like Caleb Williams is just never truly comfortable playing in this offense under Shane Waldron. And going against Green Bay, a team that can really put up points, you can't afford to start slow. So hopefully with Thomas Brown now in there, maybe the Bears can get some rhythm with their offense and get him going early. Because let me see if I can find some plays on the all 22. So let's take a look at this play. I'll play it in real time. So I think this was a sack on this play. And mind you, like Caleb Williams, there's stuff he can improve at, but it's just stuff like this that he just doesn't really seem comfortable right there. And every time we play the Green Bay Packers, they say the same thing about our quarterback every single year. We're going to force him to play inside the pocket. We're going to limit his ability to make plays outside the pocket, and we're going to make him play quarterback. Well, this is a situation where they're going to make the Patriots here. They were going to make Caleb Williams play quarterback. So gun look, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. And you're just going to see here is that what you're going to see Caleb Williams kind of hitch. Because I think what's happening here is, let me go back a little bit. Let me slow it down so I can get a better read on this. So I'm guessing the first read was Cole Kmet because he's going to run like a little out route here. Keenan's going to drive inside on a little crossing route. Rome Odunze is going to try to beat his man over the top. He gets blanketed. The Bears do pick up the blitz here pretty well. But as you can see, everybody's basically covered. I mean, maybe if he flipped around to Rome Odunze, maybe he could hit that play right there. But I don't think so. And this is just the type of stuff that you need to take into account when you're running offense for Caleb Williams is he's really struggling from inside the pocket. Whether he's holding the ball a little bit too long or he's running into sacks. And what you're going to see here, what you're going to get here is he's going to look at his first read. That's covered. Everything is covered on this play. So what's going through Caleb's mind is he's trying to go through his reads. I would like to see him kind of step up through this tiny hole right here. See if he can step up a little bit more and maybe find a way through there. I don't know if this guy right here is going to collapse on him and get him right away. So I would like to see him kind of step up into the pocket and escape out through the left. Or through the right tackle right here. And maybe he could hit Keenan Allen, who kind of redirects his route. But man, running offense for Williams to make him comfortable, we got to do that somehow. And against Green Bay, a team that has a really, really good defense, they turn the ball over the most in the league. And if you can see by the chart here from the Great Football Insights on Twitter, they have pretty good defense. They play cover 3 most of the time, so they're gonna play a lot of zone coverage. They're not gonna man up the Bears a lot, and they're gonna force Caleb Williams to go through his reads. Typically, when Caleb Williams has success, typically he plays better against man coverage than zone coverage. So with zone coverage, obviously we're gonna have to run the ball a little bit more. Now the Packers are susceptible to the run. In games, they've always have been. I always think the Bears, every time they play them, they don't run the ball nearly enough. If you sit back and pass pro for too long, and the Packers are just able to sit in dime or nickel and sit in that zone, they're gonna pick you apart, man. They're gonna pick you apart. They're gonna get to the quarterback, and they're gonna sack him again 9 times. Now, as far as the rushing yards allowed this season, the Bears are pretty much even with the Green Bay Packers right here. 1,017 yards. For the Green Bay Packers, 1,100 for the Chicago Bears. So they will give up some yards on the ground. So I would say for our first series of the game, or first few series of the game, we got to find a way to make Caleb Williams comfortable into this offense. Maybe the offense that Shane Waldron was running was a little bit too complicated. Maybe the playbook was a little bit too vast, or maybe it was worded the wrong way. Time to just kind of, maybe Thomas Brown has to roll it back. Let's get back under center. Let's get some guys in motion. Let's start going up the middle. Let's start running the ball. Giving the ball to Roschon Johnson. Giving the ball more to DeAndre Swift. Soften up that Packers defense. And then you can start taking your shots, down the field. Start getting comfortable with short throws. Then you can start moving up to intermediate throws. Just something to get the ball out of his hands quick. Because if you let him sit back there and gun all day, and he's sitting back there and he's holding it, he's going to get sacked like he did in this game. So we have to find a way to make Caleb Williams comfortable. I don't know if Thomas Brown is going to be able to do that. He says he wants to play to his strengths, but ultimately it's gonna come down to what we see on Sunday. And I'm telling you, if Thomas Brown is half the coordinator that people say he is, there's a lot of mixed reactions out there for him. He coached for Carolina last year. Didn't have much success in the games that he coached, but Carolina was like so much in flux with Frank Wright, and then they had players coming in and out the lineup. They had a very bad offensive line. They didn't have many skill position players. With the talent that we have now, maybe Thomas Brown can take advantage of that, because there's nobody on the Green Bay Packers on paper other than Jair Alexander that can just guard 1 through 3. You're going to have to make these guys guard you. And, you're going to have to threaten that defense a little bit more. I don't know how they're going to do it. Green Bay is a really, really good defense. They get takeaways. They sack the quarterback a lot. They're going to play really, really good defense. So we're going to have to soften them up early. The best way to do that is to get Caleb Williams comfortable. Maybe roll him out the pocket a few more times. And, we're going to have to figure out a way to get Caleb Williams comfortable. We cannot start slow against this Green Bay Packers team, or we will get blown out in this game. So let's find a way to get Caleb Williams comfortable on the day. Coming back to that, I would say, this is like the type of drives that I would like to see from the Bears here. So you're going to get, this is the second drive of the game. And this is a field goal drive of the game. And this is something that I would like to see more of coming from the Bears. Misdirection play action. Just something to get the ball out of his hands quick. That's a good play. It's a PA boot with a flat route, orbit motion. And this is just great play design. I don't know why Shane Waldron didn't run this more, because, with that line misdirecting everybody over here, it just leaves open guys. There's plenty of options he could go to here. He could probably go to commit once he breaks this route off. But the easy read right here is Rome Odunze, and you have to find a way to get the ball in your weapon's hands off early and often. If we can find a way to get DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, and Cole Kmet involved early and often, that will make your quarterback feel 10 times better going into this game and starting the game. Again, let me go down here. Again, they went no huddle. This is stuff he's comfortable with. This time since shotgun. gun look, 3 wide receivers. Finds Keenan Allen, quick out route. Just something simple like that. If they can find a way to incorporate that just by mixing up a little bit and getting him comfortable, the Bears will be able to score, because when Caleb Williams is hot, he's hot. When he's ice cold, he's ice cold. So the offense goes as he goes. So, man, you got to find a way to get him comfortable early and often. I would say the next key for me, every time you play the Green Bay Packers, and this happened last year as well, it just seems like we can never get consistent pressure on Jordan Love. So we're going to have to find a way to do that, and we're going to have to find a way to stop the run game of the Green Bay Packers. Now, I did mention earlier that the Green Bay Packers are number 5 in rushing, and the Bears are absolutely terrible with their run defense this year. They're not horrible, but they've taken a step back, and with Andrew Billings being out for the year, this just feels like a game where the Green Bay Packers are going to prepare to run the ball a lot to soften up their defense. It seems like every time we play the Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur draws up plays like this. He keeps it simple. And you get envious when you look at the Green Bay Packers offense, because they keep it simple, especially against the Chicago Bears. They keep it simple. They run the ball. They set guys up with play action. Last time we played this team, they didn't blow us out, but it felt like it because everybody was running wide open. That's because they were able to run the ball pretty well. We weren't getting pressure on Jordan Love. Guys were running wide open all the time. We couldn't stop Aaron Jones last year. And it's going to be the same story if the Bears are unable to stop Josh Jacobs and they're unable to get to Jordan Love. Now, Jordan Love is turnover prone this year. He is very turnover prone. And the good news is, from the Great Football Insights, we still are the number 1 coverage unit in the NFL. Yes, we still are, despite having injuries to our secondary. We just got Kyler Gordon back. Tyreek Stevenson has been up and down this season, but he's played pretty well. Jalen Johnson's played pretty well, and this is the first time I think he's actually healthy going into a Packers game. We'll still be missing Jaquan Brisker as he's still dealing with the concussion, but Elijah Hicks seems to fill in well. Kevin Byard's still been pretty good. So the secondary itself, and we get a high rate of turnovers. We have been playing a lot more zone coverage as of recently. So the coverage unit for the Chicago Bears has been adequate, I would say. Now, even with, all the points that they have given up, they gave up 19 to the New England Patriots. They gave up, 29 to the Arizona Cardinals. Half of that was due to the run game, and half of that was short fields and, the Bears offense not giving the defense a chance to rest. When that defense has a chance to rest, they can compete with anybody. But I do think we need to get more consistent pressure on, Jordan Love and being able to stop that run game, because if we don't, it's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad. Let me see if I can find an example here. And, this is just the stuff that they like to do. So I don't know why it went to end zone view, but I can still view it like this. This is like simple stuff. It's a pistol look. And Jordan Love is just going to hand the ball off here. And Josh Jacobs is such a good runner. I've always liked Josh Jacobs, despite him being, somewhat injury prone. Wasn't playing a lot of games, but he was a leading rusher, I think, last year or 2 years ago. And he's a really, really good back. They replaced a really, really good back with a really, really good back. So it's just a simple zone handoff here. And you see the offensive line of the Green Bay Packers just create that space that Josh Jacobs needs to be able to squeeze through that gap right there. Just that tiny gap. And Josh Jacobs is able to go through right there. And this is the type of stuff that happened in that Cardinals game with the Bears, is that the Cardinals ran a lot of similar concepts. And, with James Conner being a really, really physical runner, it just felt like every time James Conner touched the ball, there was a big hole being opened up. And he was rushing for 5 or 6 yards per carry. And if the Bears are unable to stop this, it's going to be a long game, because what's coming next. All they're going to do is, when Jordan Love hands off that ball, he's going to fake the handoff, roll out, There's going to be somebody going over the middle of the field. And that's just the glory of Matt LaFleur and his offense, is that he makes the simple stuff look innovative, but it's really not innovative at all. And, you know, he's such a great play caller, and he has such a great feel for play calling, and he gets the best out of his players that it looks innovative, but it's not. It's just effective offense. They run their offense the way it's structured to help Jordan Love, and that's why they keep beating the Bears, is because we don't run the stuff that Matt LaFleur runs for his quarterback. So we go 3 and out, our defense has to come right back out, and they're getting punished with the run just like this. Now, mind you, Detroit was curb stomping Green Bay for the first part of this game, and Green Bay did end up losing this game, but it's the type of concepts that they run that kept them in this game as well. And you know, if they run these certain type of concepts against the Bears and they're unable to stop it, it's going to be a long, long game. So let me see if I can find another one here. And they have 3 great running backs on the team as well. They have good depth right there. So let me see. Packers only scored 14 points in this game, so not a lot of good examples to go for. 39 yards, 59 yards. It's a 41-yard pass. I think this is, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is just, is this Hail Mary? No. Yeah, this is Hail Mary. So this is not a very great example, although the Bears have had a Hail Mary completed on them. Detroit really took away a lot of what Green Bay did. I will say this play right here, because I couldn't really catch the game right here. This was one to Jaden Reed, I think. That was his name, Jaden Reed. They have 3 great receivers, by the way, too. Green Bay found some gems with Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, and Jaden Reed from Michigan State. I always liked Jaden Reed. I thought he could have been a great Bear, but he ended up in Packerland, and he's having a good season, really, really good season. And this is why. You know, it's a gun look. You're going to see number 11 right here. Go in motion. Come back in. Little in route there. Boom. Right on time. Anticipation over the middle. And that's one thing Matt LaFleur and his offense does well. That's one thing Jordan Love does well, is he's able to throw with anticipation over the middle. And what you're going to see here, it's a zone coverage look. Oh, come on. Zone coverage look. And his players are intelligent, too. You see him just sneak behind the coverage right here. And Detroit's a really, really good defense. You see him just sneak behind the coverage right here and just finds open space to run to. And it just doesn't matter how good your secondary is. You know, with Matt LaFleur drawing up plays and these receivers being so intelligent in the way they run his system, they'll find open space and in your zone and pick it apart. You can't play man too much because they'll pick that apart as well. The best way to stop the Green Bay Packers is to get to Jordan Love early and, you know, not let Josh Jacobs get going early either. If you have to make Jordan Love throw the football to beat you, I'm not saying he can't do it because he's proven he can do it. But this year he's really, really turnover prone, and we want to try to force him to make those turnover-worthy throws. So let me see if I can find another example where Detroit just... I don't know if he threw one this game. I think he went turnover-free this game. Also, the Green Bay Packers also shoot themselves in the foot with penalties as well. They have a lot of penalties, even more than the Bears this year. I can't find an example. I'd like to find an example where they kind of just, you know, let me see if what this one is. Kind of just blanket coverage here. This in the red zone now. I don't look through these when I do all 22, so I kind of just have to find it on my own. Not many good examples. I don't know if he took many sacks this game. Either way, we know what we have to do coming into this game. The Bears are going to have to find a way to get pressure. I will bring up this right here. the one thing the Bears do pretty well is they do get turnovers. They do get turnovers. This just happened in the game on Sunday. Drake May, and I don't have no idea what he was doing on this play. But this is what you want from the Bears defense going into Sunday. You want to find a way to make Jordan Love make these bad decisions with the ball. Because Drake May, he just throws it straight to TJ Edwards. I think this is a zone coverage look. Because I don't think TJ is following anyone here. It's a play action boot. You're gonna see the receipt. You're gonna see Hunter Henry right here. It does kind of look like a man look here, with just two deep safeties. So I think this is like a cover 2 man. But you see, Tremaine, TJ Edwards just reads this all the way. Such great instincts to get in front of the tight end. And whatever Drake May was doing here, you got to think that Jordan Love is not going to make those same decisions. But, you know, this is a defense that does specialize in getting turnovers, and they are ball hawks, because that's a great play for a linebacker. To look how high his feet are off the ground. Let me see if I can switch angle here. Go to end zone angle. I despise the Bears end zone angle. I do. Because I like to see more upfield. But it's the same thing here. I'm sorry, that's not Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry stayed into block. Oh, come on. Go back. There we go. I lost it. Let me find it again. Okay, I think this is it right here. There we go. Same thing. TJ Edwards reads Drake May here. It's a play action boot. Whoever number 81 is over here, right here, is going to run all the way across the field with a drag route or a crossing route. And it you know, he reads this right away. Such great instincts from a linebacker spot. He reads this right away. He actually takes a look behind him. He recognizes that Kevin Byard and I think that's Tyreek Stevenson over there have the receiver covered over there. So he's just going to stick to this guy right here. Drake May ends up making a bad decision because he does see pressure going. Instead of throwing the ball away, he just throws it straight to TJ Edwards. That's another interception on the record for TJ Edwards in this Bears defense. And it's just something they're really, really good at doing. They're really, really good at forcing turnovers. If we look at the stats here, the Bears have 8 interceptions on the year. The Packers do take the ball away, and I probably will get to that next. But the Packers do take the ball away. They got 10, we got 8. So if we're able to, get pressure on Jordan Love and able to stop that run game, maybe, limit Josh Jacobs to maybe 3 yards per carry or maybe 4.5 yards per carry. Anything's better than allowing 5 to 6 yards per carry. I thought they got better against New England, but New England is not all that great of a offensive team. They held Ramondre Stevenson to 3 yards per carry. I know Antonio Gibson, he averaged about 5 yards per carry, but he only had 5 carries in the game. I would think the New England Patriots would have had to work their run game a little bit more. At the same time, the Bears didn't do much on offense to even gain the New England Patriots' respect, and so they basically won this game by default, just off one touchdown and a field goal. But I did like the way the Bears were able to respond and stop the run against the New England Patriots. If we can find a way to emulate that success against Josh Jacobs, again, different play caller, different offensive line, everything else. But if you can find a way to slow down Josh Jacobs and the backs of the Green Bay Packers and put the game more in Jordan Love's hands, I think you'll have a better chance of winning this game. But, it all depends on how the Bears defense comes to play. If they're able to stop that run and get pressure on them, that would be great. Again, we are probably going to be – Montez Sweat did not practice today. Hopefully he's going to be ready. We're not going to have Jaquan Brisker. And we still have some questions on that defensive line. We're not having Andrew Billings. So it's going to be an uphill battle either way. If they can find a way to get pressure on Jordan Love and make him make some bad decisions and stop that run game of Green Bay, maybe you got a shot in this game. I would say the final key for me would be we got to protect Caleb Williams big time. We have to protect Caleb Williams, not only from turning the ball over, but from getting sacked 9 times. 9 times Caleb Williams got sacked in this game against New England. And I feel like Green Bay, they have a pretty good pass rush for Sean Gary, Lucas Van Ness, although they just traded Preston Smith before the trade deadline. I think that was last week. So they are going to be missing that pass rusher, but at the same time, the Packers pass rush is pretty good anyway, so we're going to have to find a way to protect Caleb Williams somehow. 9 sacks is just unreal. We are, like I said at the beginning, we are getting Darnell Wright back. We are getting Braxton Jones back. We're possibly not gonna have Tevin Jenkins, but Tevin Jenkins wasn't really playing all that well either way. So that might not be too big of a loss. I would like him to try to play. I would like him to be in this game. Every player healthy against the Green Bay Packers helps, but at the same time, the line will definitely be in a better state if Darnell and Braxton can play. That being said, we don't really have the best track record against these Green Bay pass rushers. We've given up 38 sacks this year. 38. That's ridiculous. And the Green Bay Packers are only allowed 12. That's how good the Green Bay Packers offensive line is. Now, half of the sacks that come from the Bears is from Caleb holding the ball, just bad overall play calling. Again, we have a new offensive coordinator. I don't know how he's going to look on Sunday. Maybe something changed, maybe it doesn't. Either way, you still got to find a way to protect your quarterback because some of these sacks that Caleb Williams had were unacceptable. Currently, Green Bay has 22 sacks on the year, and you don't want your quarterback being frazzled against Green Bay because they do take the ball away. I think they lead the league in turnovers. I think and interceptions as well. They have 10 interceptions on the year for the entire defense. We're slightly behind them. We're going to have to find a way to protect Caleb Williams, especially on long distance downs, because the Packers, they're probably going to want to blitz a little bit more. They're probably going to want to get the Bears in situations where they're going to have to go a long way to get first downs. And, let me see if I can find a chart here. Just defense. And you see right here, pressure to sack rate when blitz and not blitz. You see Jordan Love all the way up here. So basically he's getting like all the time in the world. And then Caleb Williams down here. Just down here next to Jameis Winston and Joe Flacco. Spencer Rattler just taking an absolute beating. And they don't even really need to blitz like that. Teams don't really need to blitz. Although, both axes are reversed. So being a super right, lower numbers are better. Either way, we know Caleb Williams is taking a lot of sacks. So we're going to have to find a way to protect him. If I can find some plays here, there's probably no shortage of sacks in this game. He took 9 of them, man. Not 9. 9 of them. And he took 6 the previous game against Arizona. That's just, and I played this one already, but again, this is a situation where Caleb has to protect himself as well. And I think I played this for you guys already. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit more. You get Caleb Williams walking up to the line. And like I said, nobody was open on this play, per se. I mean, he saw nobody open. Maybe he could have stepped up and ran through those little holes right there. But by the time, he was looking, by the time he started scrambling, he ran directly into a Patriots defender and he was sacked. Now, if you ask my opinion, I feel like he still is holding the ball a little bit too long, especially on this play. And if nobody's open, I say just throw it away or dirt it so you don't get hit like that. Let's see if I can find another example here. Again, I'm not an expert at this, so I can't break down what the Patriots, all the complicated schemes they were running against the Bears to make Caleb Williams take all these sacks. But here's one. Here's a 3-yard sack. This is supposed to be a play action, I think. I think I remember this one, where he kind of just gets immediately pressured. Let me see if I can find a better angle. Again, I don't like this end zone angle. You see the whole field this way, and see what routes these guys are running. Like, maybe DJ pops open here, but by the time, DJ is finally breaking off his route, and maybe this guy is just waiting for DJ to break off this little corner route here, so he can jump the route. You do get DeAndre Swift popping open, but by the time DeAndre Swift pops open, Caleb's already running for his life. A guy has already come through the middle, and down he goes. That's another sack. Let's see if I can find one more. Another one. Again, there's no shortage of sacks taken in this game for Caleb. It's a rough game. Here's a 9-yard sack. And it just felt like this all game. Again, look at what's going on. They bring 2 guys back into the backfield. And it helps when they look at tendencies on the film. The Patriots admitted they were looking at tendencies. You max protect, and he still got sacked. And, you could say he's holding the ball a little bit here, but I want you guys to look at the route concepts for a minute. I'm going to slow it down and let you guys look at the route concepts for a minute. This is like too slow of a developing play. Maybe, just maybe, I feel, looking at the film, maybe DJ gets a step on his man right here. If you just look at him, he's able to go past his man. I think Caleb looks his way, but he doesn't trust himself, so he kind of just scrambles away. And maybe Rome Odunze pops open late. Maybe, but I don't think Caleb comes off this first read. And by the time these guys pop open, maybe Keenan. It's too slow of a developing play, and this doesn't protect your quarterback at all. And add that to the fact that we had no linemen in this game. They just got pushed back into Caleb Williams. We max protected and still gave up a sack. And this is just a basic 4-man pressure. So Green Bay is probably licking their chops saying, hey, we're going to throw all types of blitzes at this dude. I mean, that's your opinion, man. The Ghost of Judah tribe, that's your opinion. But Tyson Bagent probably isn't going to change the fact that, one, you were playing with a coordinator that could not help his quarterback. Two, our offensive line is not all that great. It's not. And I understand that. And there's plenty of times that I've said that in this broadcast where he's had time to step up into the pocket and throw. There are probably examples in the All-22 where he's had examples to throw. There was one on a play action where he had a chance to throw. He could have just dumped the ball down. But he didn't see it, and he held the ball for too long, and he got sacked. It's not hard. It's not hard to figure out. I mean, Caleb Williams has issues. He does hold the ball for a very, very long time. Not all these sacks are on him, though. Not all of them. Like this is at the end of the game. This is just ridiculous here. And against Green Bay, they probably see this. They see this, and they're going to try to blitz him as much as possible. And, if we're not able to protect them in this game, it's the same thing as every other Packers game that we played in the past few years. It's the same thing that happened with Justin Fields every time he played the Packers. They just couldn't really protect them. And despite all that, they And with all that happening, no weapons, the route concepts were poorly drawn up, too long developing plays, and he gets sacked. And, with the Packers being the way they are, the way they want to ball hawk, if he's uncomfortable inside the pocket, he's going to struggle, man. He is going to struggle, and we're not able to protect him. Thankfully, we're getting Darnell Wright and Braxton Jones back. Thank goodness. But at the same time, we weren't really playing well with them in the lineup. So we got to figure out a way to protect our quarterback. Got to get him outside the pocket. We can't let him sit back there in the pocket every time he drops back. Five step drop. Maybe that's a little bit too long early in the game. Run, play, action, rollouts. First of all, we need to get our run game going. You want to stop people from getting to your quarterback, you got to tire them out with the run game. I don't think we run the ball enough. We don't give the ball to DeAndre Swift nearly enough. He got 16 carries against the Patriots. This was the Patriots were one of the worst rushing defenses in the league. And we gave the ball to our $30 million running back 16 times. And he only averaged 3 yards per carry. We need to give the ball to DeAndre Swift. The Packers have never been good. Every time we play the Packers, we get success against the run, and we never stick to it. Maybe with Thomas Brown back there, maybe he'll commit more to the run. Maybe he'll dumb down the playbook a little bit more or simplify it a little bit more for Caleb Williams. If you're able to get that run game going, that means you can start drawing up play action rollouts. That means you can start moving him out the pocket a little bit more. And that makes it easier for him. Well, the thing is, when you have a quarterback, right, and he's struggling. We've seen Caleb Williams make plays before. I mean, in the final 2 minutes of the final fourth quarter of that Washington game, he played better, and they couldn't just stick to the run. But you still have to run the ball. Even if they're putting in stacking 8 against the box, you still need to find creative ways to run the ball. You think that stops Green Bay from running the ball? And this dude is trolling now. Dude, you're spamming the chat. Nobody else can get themselves in chat, so I will go ahead and put you in a timeout for about 10 minutes. How about that? There we go. So anyway, we got to find a way to, and he was distracting my concentration. We got to find a way to get the ball to, we got to find a way to protect our quarterback. And run the ball, get him outside the pocket. I think we need to give the ball to Roschon Johnson a little bit more, as he's a little bit more of a physical back, going between the tackles. Green Bay is acceptable against the run. They give up just about the same amount of yards as we give up on the ground. So they are a little bit susceptible to the run. Maybe not as for much as yards per carry, but at the same time, you still need to run the ball. You got to get them comfortable, quick throws. Maybe a couple halfback screens. I don't think I've seen enough of that in these games that the Bears have been playing. We haven't seen enough of that in these games. Get a halfback screen, a couple short throws. Let's start running some slants. We have really, really good intermediate to short route runners with Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. Start running some more quick slants. That will get the ball out of his hands quicker. Keep a back there. Maybe put Roschon Johnson back there for more pass pro types. But overall, we're going to have to find a way to protect our quarterback because sacks like this just can't help it. And this is just the basic four-man pressure. And all this is against backups. And they just get bowled backwards, and he takes yet another sack. And that's 9 on the day. So he can't get sacked 9 times, man. That's just not conducive to a long career. If we're able to somewhat slow down that Green Bay pass rush, they're going to blitz a little bit more. If we're able to slow them down, we should have some success in this game. But it all depends on if Caleb Williams is going to get the ball out on time, the line is going to hold up, and the offensive coordinator is going to draw up plays to get the ball out of his hands and make him comfortable in this game. Now, ultimately, I don't have the Bears winning this game. I do think I have it a little bit more competitive than other people. I'm going to go 33-26 Green Bay. Green Bay is coming off a bye, and Jordan Love has played well, but he has been turnover prone. And, I do feel like this is going to be a tight, contested game in the first half. But I do feel like Matt LaFleur, with all his adjustments, despite, with all his adjustments, the way he coaches his team, the team not being in flux, the way the Bears are, I feel like he's going to make adjustments at halftime like he always does, and he's going to take advantage of it. I don't think we're going to be able to stop the run efficiently against Green Bay. It just feels like these top-tier running backs, other than Joe Mixon, have seemed to have their way with us. Josh Jacobs is no different. They work off their run game. They're going to give it to him early. We don't have Andrew Billings, so that's going to suck. So I do feel like Green Bay will get their run game going first. And, with the way Matt LaFleur is able to draw up wide open people, especially over the middle of the field, off play action, get Jordan Love comfortable, I do feel like they will be able to put up at least 33 on our defense. Couple that with the fact that I don't know if Montez Sweat will play or not. And then you have Jaquan Brisker missing, so that's going to be a little bit of a tougher challenge as well. Tyreek Stevenson isn't playing well. He's not playing his best football right now. At the same time, I could easily see this game being a defensive struggle as well. As for the Bears themselves, I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say that Thomas Brown is going to run the offense a little bit better. So that's why I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt with the 26 points. I do feel like Caleb will still have his moments where he will struggle. But this is what Caleb wanted. This is, the stuff with Shane Waldron wasn't working. Maybe, this coordinator sees that. He's going to be calling plays up in the booth for whatever that's worth, so maybe he'll have a better view of the field. I do feel like Caleb Williams will bounce back from this previous game if we are able to protect him. Again, I could be wrong. Maybe the Bears' offense stays the same. I don't really have much information on Thomas Brown. And I don't feel like going through leagues of film, watching some of his concepts. The playbook isn't probably going to change too much just because you don't want to install a whole new offense. At the same time, maybe the concepts will change. Maybe the wording of it will change. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say that they will find a way to put up points in this game. I feel like they'll be able to play to Caleb's strengths a little bit more. But at the same time, I do feel like Caleb will struggle at points in this game, and I feel like as the game progresses and we get towards crunch time, get towards the fourth quarter, I feel like the Green Bay Packers will clamp down and start getting pressure on Caleb Williams and start making him make tough throws, and they'll start getting the Bears' offense off the field a little bit more. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I have the Bears scoring 26, but I do have them losing this game 33-26. I just feel like Green Bay is the better coach team. They're the better team, in my opinion, and their defense is much better than anything we played this year, and especially with a rookie quarterback, this could either go one way or another. This could either be really bad or really, really good, depending on what the coordinator wants to do. We just scored 3 points against the New England Patriots last week, and I don't think it can get much worse than 3 points. So I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. I think Thomas Brown will run some offense to signal some improvement. But I do think the Packers will come away with this game. I just feel like they're the much better team, and I feel like they'll be able to have their way with the run game early and often. So that's pretty much it. I don't know if Green Bay is going to be, I don't know if the Bears are going to be up for the challenge. This could easily be one of the worst games of the season, or the Bears could respond to adversity and make this game a tougher game. After all, this is a division game, and division games are always tougher. But I do have them losing. But let me know what you guys think down in the chat and in the comment section down below. Who you guys have winning? Do you have Green Bay or do you have Chicago? I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, as it helps the channel grow. I am on my way to 1,000 subscribers. I want to try to get to that by the start of next year, so make sure you guys are hitting that big red sub button. Hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop one of these streams on the channel. Follow me on social media, man. There's a lot of good discussion going on about the Bears and other things on social media, and I'm very opinionated on there as well, so make sure you guys follow me on social media. Go ahead and get your comments down in the giveaway video so you'll be eligible. Remember, I will be announcing winners on December 2nd, so be ready. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Bear down, And I'm out. Peace.